We are not a socialist party. Neither are we a capitalist party. We are advancing mixed economy. Study the ANC properly to understand. That's why people have failed, even the group of 8, because they wanted to transform the ANC and make it a socialist party, and we expelled them. This notion that the ANC must change overnight and become a socialist party, it's incorrect. It's a reductionist, it's a distortion of the African National Congress. People who want to become socialist and communist, they've got a party, Vanguard, which is now going to contest elections, called the South African Communist Party. They must join it, legally so, not underground, and fight for socialism distinctly.
Good day, everyone, and welcome to Newsaluti. Welcome to another political chat. My name is Mbalula and I welcome you to another epic, grand episode. Very interesting episode we are going to have today. I want us to talk about a few things. I was listening to the SG of the ANC. He was busy talking about the ANC being not a socialist party and neither being a capitalist party. Then I was asking myself, then if the ANC is neither of these two, what does the ANC represent? But I only found out to say that no, the ANC represents the capitalist side. It is not a socialist party. I don't know why the ANC has made allies with the organization like NUMSA, COSATU, SACP, because those are socialist movement. It is very clear.
Business people have written a letter to both myself and John Steenhuisen, the leader of the Democratic Alliance, and I can say that business does not dictate what happens. One in government does not dictate what happens in the ANC that I lead. We take our own decisions based on our considerations of everything that will advance the interests of our people.
Because the ANC has adopted the character of being a capitalist. Capitalism, it's what the ANC follows. Capitalism, they always in favor of capitalism. I will tell you why I say that shortly. We must understand the nature of these things and how the ANC, the position of the ANC, where is it at? The ANC has been like this from back in the days. Let me just play you a clip of Nelson Mandela explaining the position of what does the ANC represent. Let us watch here.
The ANC does not believe in socialism. We are a broad national movement which combines various strands of political thought, ranging from the far right to the extreme left, embracing liberal and conservative views. And if you study our basic policy document, the Freedom Charter, you will find that it is based on free enterprise. And the land, for example, there is no nationalization of the land. And the land is subject to individual ownership. And in actual fact, when the Freedom Charter is applied, when the provisions of the Freedom Charters are applied, capitalism amongst Africans will flourish as never before.
So interestingly, Fikile Mbalula today, after 30 years in democracy, says that the ANC is neither one of the two. Then boom, again comes Nelson Mandela. Nelson Mandela says that no, the ANC, its formation was not socialism. By virtue of circumstance, it means the ANC is a capitalist movement, a capitalist political party. This will lead you and I to understand when it is reported that the business wrote a letter to President Cyril Ramaphosa and urged him not to kick the DA out of the government of national unity. So it was the business, capitalism, giving an order to a political party to say that keep the DA intact. We want you guys to keep on working with the DA. So the DA, Johnston, has come also and say that no, business has written a letter to them to say that they must continue in the GNU. So one thing that you and I will conclude to say today is that both the ANC and the DA, they represent something that is common and one thing. Both of them, they represent to be captured by business. Why all these people, even in the media, in the news, people are talking about business, talking about business. Who are the business? And those guys that will identify now, because they need to identify who are the business, are the same guys that are controlling and has captured the ANC, has captured the DA, and they are controlling these political parties. So who runs South Africa? Who is business? Listen here.
The economy of our country controlled by few families, and majority of our people are in poverty, are trapped in poverty. If you check our country, it's the most unequal society in the world, you know. And if you check the economic structure of our country, 3 families are controlling everything in our country. Literally, we can't have 3 families or 1% of people controlling the economy of the country. It does not work that way. So we need to really tackle that, unpack it, and ensure that doesn't happen.
Those multimillionaire families of the Ruperts and the Minels and all of them who have been pumping money to try and manipulate the political landscape in South Africa, and that has successfully failed. So what do? We retreat back to our traditional political parties and then unite them. The IFP is not an organization outside the Oppenheimers. It was formed by them. Who in his rightful mind will give Tlhabisa 20 million?
So now you understand who is business. Now you know who is business, right? Do you know? Panyaza did say that there are 3 families that control South Africa. 3 of them. 3 families that do what? Control South Africa. So they are the ones who have written, they are the ones who are controlling companies in the JSE. JSE, the companies that are there, are being controlled by them. So when media speaks business language, business terms, you must understand that no, it's these 3 families that are in charge, which are controlling. They are running South Africa using politics, using the ANC and the DA formation. They are running South Africa according to their will, to achieve, to monopolize and grow their wealth. That is how they are monopolizing South Africa. And they are using the ANC as their agent, and they are using the DA as their agent. That is why business will edge the two, no matter how big they can have a disagreement, how big they can fight, but they need to keep each other working together with each other. That's how business is controlling South Africa through the formation of what we call the GNU. Because the DA, it will come and say that no, this is according to the will of the people. The people want us to work together, wants the GNU to be alive. And the ANC also adopts the similar stance to say that no, it is according to the will of the people. A lot of people want to see the GNU working together, the ANC and the DA and other political parties. This is not according to the will of the people, because over 60% of the people rejected the ANC. More than 79% of the people rejected the DA, got only 21%. When we count now these percentages from the last election results, a lot of people have rejected the ANC, a lot of people have rejected the DA. And the people who voted for the DA, they want nothing to do with the ANC. And the people who voted for the ANC, they wanted nothing to do with the DA. In fact, they hate the DA as much as the DA voters hate the ANC. Now we move from there and want to talk about the disrespect that John Steenhuisen has been showing to the ANC. Helen Zille and John have been speaking ill about the ANC. But the ANC will not kick them out because it is a capitalist movement. They will keep this GNU alive no matter how bad John Steenhuisen can talk about them.
Kunombutho lokuthiwa i-DA. I-DA ingane ye-National Party. Senikhohliwe. Ngoba ngiyangibona abantu abamnyama sebeyijoyina nje. Ile party yayisicindezele. Ngidabuke ngibona izingane sesikhuluma isingisi esikhulu lapha. DA will do XYZ. Hayi. Mazolo lokhu bese sikhala ngabantu abasibiza ukuthi sizinkawu. Racism. Ucabanga ukuthi abo bantu uma uthi umholi wabo bakuthatha serious. Kwithoyisi nje basebenza ngawo ispanel. Bahambe bevula ngawo. Nawe usukhoshile uthi umholi. Maye babo. Kulele kunye ukuba kubili ngabe kuyavusana.
So Jacob Zuma says that ucabanga ukuthi labantu bayakuthanda. Bayakuthiya nje kwespanera. Bahamba bavula ngawo. They are using you and they will never ever respect you. Jacob Zuma said that. And what we are seeing, what Zuma said, it's exactly what we are seeing, the character and the position of the DA in terms of how they relate to the ANC. They are so disrespectful towards the ANC. And you can tell that they don't see the ANC leaders as their equals. Right? They always portray themselves as a better party, a better party that can govern, a better party at this, the better party at that. That's what the DA represent, because they have that ideology and belief of the National Party. To say that there's nothing good that a black person, even a black leader, can do. That's why they will always tell the ANC that it can't govern. So it was a historical mistake of the ANC choosing what? The DA. But because they are being controlled by business, they are a capitalist party, you will understand that it had to happen. It had to. So Nelson Mandela understood the dynamics of the African National Congress, our politics. He says that the ANC is not a socialist party. Nelson Mandela said that because by virtue, if the ANC is not that, it is what? A capitalist party. A business-orientated political party. A business-driven political party. That is why Nelson Mandela, when he continued, he said that the ANC does not implement not even one thing in the Freedom Charter. Not even one. Because he said that if the ANC will now implement what is written on the Freedom Charter, it means that there must be a nationalization of mines, nationalization of banks. And he says that if then the people have to be returned the land, if then that happens, it means now they will be creating monopolies. And those monopolies will be benefiting now the majority. Those who were excluded from any participation from the economy, those are black Africans. They will become wealthy and they will become just rich like that. He said that. But because of, we know that a lot of Africans are not participating in the economy. They've been excluded. That is why now a lot of Africans, they are living under the poverty line, because they are not participating in the formation or in the monopolized economy, And the agent that was supposed to do that is the African National Congress. But the African National Congress, because it is not a socialist party that will nationalize everything so that the people will have wealth. It is a capitalist party because it is only there as an agent, as a security to safeguard the monopoly of the few, that it remains like that. That is why the ANC will always implement things and do things that will not benefit the majority. That is why the ANC will always be being given an order coming from somewhere to say that do this, do not divorce with the DA. Because business understands that this is a capitalist political organization run by black Africans. So now the dilemma of the ANC, it comes to the people, it campaigns to the people, it tells people lies as if it will bring any change and change their lives for the better, knowing that they are not a socialist movement. They are a capitalist-driven movement, meaning they will always favor capital first and put capital first than the rest of the country. That is why the rest of the country is going down. But the monopoly capital that was established from the days of apartheid, it is standing here, and it is reported that that monopoly capital, it is even having more wealth today, 100 times than what it had during the days of apartheid. Another friend of mine told me one day and said that he was listening to this other white guy who was talking back in the days, back in the years, not now, maybe around before 2010 or around there, saying that, you know, if they knew during the apartheid times that this is what was going to happen when black people are given power, they would have given them power from back in the years, because there's nothing that they have changed. They have more wealth now than what they got during the days of apartheid. Under democracy, under the ANC. So the ANC have given them that leverage, have supported them and their monopoly capital to grow even to become what? $1 trillion maybe dollar industry. More money than what it used to have. And he said that we would have given you guys freedom long ago if we knew this was going to be an outcome. Because the ANC have not changed anything for the blacks, because they always catered for the monopoly capital. That is what is the result of where we are. So the GNU will never work, not today, not tomorrow, and not ever. Please don't forget you can subscribe to this channel and you can leave a comment on the section below until we meet on the next video. And I'm out.